How's everybody doing today? So today I'm going to talk a little bit about the things that I've done throughout my career that have hindered my progress, and I guess what I'm trying to do with this video is show people the things that I did wrong so that we can have a more healthy experience overall while playing the game and people don't end up injuring themselves and doing the things that I did because I've done some very unhealthy things with this game. Little bit of a backstory. 2018 is the first time I injured myself playing Osu. This is how my Osu career went. I was still in school, played a little bit around graduation, stopped playing, college got in the way, started playing again summer, took a break. I always started playing around in July too, that's kind of weird. So yeah, I played a lot and I suffered for it. I would mainly play Nomad during this time, and then I would end the sessions off with a bit of DT, which is really what ruined me. So you might be saying, okay, but why does this all matter for me? Well, hand injuries are no joke. When you injure your hands, if you don't properly recover from a hand injury, you'll suffer for years and years and years. And to be honest with you, I don't know whether or not I still suffer from this injury to this day, because first of all, it's been so long, and second of all, when my hands feel pain, I don't know whether or not it's because of the prior injury or, well, actually, to be honest with you, they don't really feel pain anymore, but I do get strained. I don't know if that's because of the prior injuries, which I also had one around here in May of 2021. And my hands were injured all throughout this here. I never really truly had good tapping, so I figured, pushing myself to my limits was probably the way to do it, and I suffered for it. There was a lot of improvement here, but unfortunately, I'll never know, but there could have been much more. And who knows where I'd be if this never happened, So I started off tapping index middle, which is what most people do. And then I came across a gentleman by the name of Beast Troll MC, who had a very, very interesting way of tapping, which was, just kidding, index ring. And I looked at my hand and I said, the index and the ring finger are about as long as one another, so you can put your hand in a more ergonomic position to tap. And honestly, I swapped. No hesitations, which I've done a lot, to be honest. And I think that if you're not swapping your style up, if it's not working for you, if you're uncomfortable, if for whatever reason you find that you're not improving, you find that something's holding you back, it's always a good idea to change it up. And what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, you feel like you're at a certain level of skill. Let's say maybe you're at 6-star, you're playing 6-star Nomad maps every day, but for some reason, day after day, you just can't hit that big jump, right? You just can't hit that jump. And you're like, I don't understand I aim the same way every day. I should be improving. I don't understand why I just, for some reason, can't hit jumps like this. Well, the thing is, maybe your grip or maybe your mouse sensitivity or whatever you might be using, maybe it's just not working for you. And it's healthy to feel that way and to switch it up. I could not tell you how many times I have changed my pen grip or my tapping style, and it's a long and painful journey, to say the least. You're gonna have days where you feel like you're playing like you've never touched the game before. Like you are playing and playing and playing, and you're like, oh my god, I can't even FC a 300 PP map right now, 200 PP map, whatever PP you're at, whatever skill level you're at. Like, for example, 34 days ago, I got my top play. Honesty by Chansey. I mean, it's a pretty standard stream map, right? 185 BPM is not something that I just hop on and have an easy time doing every day. And that's because of, I believe, that hand injury, which, let me take a step back really quickly. So that hand injury was with my middle finger. The problem that I was having is that whenever I would play, it felt like I couldn't go any like it felt like there was something holding me back from performing with the level of energy that I had, if that makes sense. Whenever I would tap, and the way I got over this injury is by playing, which I probably shouldn't have played at all, right? I probably should have just stopped playing. That is the answer. If you're ever in a situation like this where you have hand pain, and this is the mistake that I made, you need to stop playing immediately for the day. And if the next day the hand pain is still there, do not play. That is the trap that you will fall into. Do not play until it feels better. Trust me, and believe me when I say this, you will thank me. Because the time when you do play and you have no hand pain, you will feel how much you have improved. And if you are feeling hand pain very often, like you play maybe once every few days, and every time you play, what ends your session is hand pain, that's probably a pretty good sign that you should be switching up your technique. And I have some tips on how to do that, because it has been a long and arduous journey of me trying to find ways to mitigate the hand pain so that I could play this game for maybe a few hours every few days just to have fun and listen to some music. And it sucks when you can't do that, because believe it or not, mapping, listening to music all on your own, or doing anything else, it's just not as fun as it is to play this game. So let me go back to that. Things that you can do in order to mitigate hand pain. When you're thinking about your technique, and by the way, I should say that I do have the Wooting keyboard, and I do in fact utilize Rapid Trigger, which will change your tapping technique, and honestly, for the better. Now, I know a lot of people might have different opinions on this, but if I did not have the Wooting, I genuinely believe that I would probably still be hard stuck where I was before I got it. And that's for one simple reason. The Wooting helped me mold my technique into something that is very much so beneficial for my hand. The way the Wooting works is that when you push down a button and you have Rapid Trigger on, which I'll pull up my Rapid Trigger settings right now just to show you. Okay, so this is my Wootility right here. As you can see, my actuation point is 0.1 millimeters. So the moment I pretty much put any type of force onto the key, it will activate the key. That's great, right? Okay, so Rapid Trigger is on. As we can see here, got it all the way dialed up to 0.15, which might not be beneficial for everybody if you do have the Wooting. I just so happen to be somebody who taps in a way that if I don't have it like this, sometimes I will miss an input. Tachyon mode, I'm not exactly quite sure whether or not this really makes that much of it. This might make a difference if you're like MREC, where you're streaming like 300 and something BPM, right? But for me, I think I'm good with that off. So you might be thinking, well, what can I do if I don't have the Wooting? Well, there's a lot of things that you can do. And mainly it's a lot of the things that you do if you did have the Wooting. The only thing that really changes when you have the Wooting is the fact that you have to change your technique, because in order to go faster, you have to utilize less energy per click, in turn saving stamina and profit. You know what I mean? Basically, when you tap with the Wooting, and this is something that's helped me a lot. When you tap with the Wooting, you're more or less trying to tap as fast. Let's say you're playing like 230 BPM and you're hard capped at like 220. If you switch from the HyperX Ally Origins to the Wooting, you could probably stream 230 BPM if you just change your technique. Because with the Ally Origins or any other normal mechanical keyboard, you have to actuate the key fully, and I believe, no, you don't have to fully release it, but you do have to actuate the key fully, and you can feather that or whatever, but there's a lot of room for error in that. With the Wooting, if you're doing that, you can feather it at whatever distance you want. You could bottom out the keys and then go ham on them, and you'll be streaming whatever BPM it is. And that's helped me a lot, because the big thing that I used to have problems with is tensing up my hand and or wrist when I would stream. And that there will absolutely injure you. So please, if I could stress one thing to everybody out there who might see this video, do not, and I mean do not, tension up your hand, fingers, or your wrist when you are streaming or playing this game. That is the key to not getting injured. And that might seem a little bit difficult to you. You might be like, okay, well, how am I supposed to do that? When I'm going ham on 230 BPM, how am I supposed to make sure that I'm not doing that? And the answer to that is you have to find a comfortable way to tap the keys where your hand, wrist, or fingers do not feel the need to tension up. And that might be difficult, but with a lot of time, effort, and willpower, you can absolutely do this. So that's the biggest tip that I have. Do not tension up your hand, wrist, or fingers when playing. Typically, when you stream, you should be feeling, okay, so it's hard to explain this because I'm trying to keep in mind that a lot of you guys aren't going to have the experiences in life that I do. But let's say you go to the gym, or let's say you're in gym class and you're running and your legs start to feel that that lactic acid buildup type feeling, that you should be feeling that in your forearm, because your forearm muscles are not tendons. And when you stream and you play this game and you're using your forearm more than your fingers, that is perfect. You do not want to use your tendons as much as possible, because your tendons are much, much more fragile and will get injured. RSI is a huge problem. I'm not going to put it lightly, because there's a lot of players out there who have experienced it. And let me tell you, it is not fun. It affects you in your life. It affects you every single day. You will not be able to do things that you thought were easy. Other people can do them easily. You will lose functionality in your thumbs, in your fingers. It will be hard to grab things. It will be hard to pinch things. And believe me, once you aren't able to do those things, you'll notice it. Trust me, it's not fun. And all throughout my life, guess what? Because I injured my hands, I'm feeling it no matter what. Even if they're not injured, even if they're perfectly fine, I'm still feeling it. And it is not fun. So you want to mitigate that as much as humanly possible. And that's all I have to say about technique on your tapping hand. So I'm going to cut this up, and this is going to be part of a more long form video series that I'm going to make, giving you guys tips on how to take care of yourself while playing Osu. I hope you all stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.